All right. Yes, it's the Charlie Chaplin episode. We're gonna do like a silent movie type episode today. Okay. Anyway, let's do this real quick. Sorry about that. All right. Yeah, UFC back in Baku, or first time ever in Baku. Um, some great fights on this card, aren't there? You got Jamal Hill versus Khalil Rountree. Um, obviously, a fight that was already scheduled once, and to reschedule it for this card. I think it's a really good spot for the card to be. Sorry, Nick, you didn't get it in Kansas City, but yeah, you got Fiziev versus Bahamundes. That's going to be a great fight. You got Curtis Blades coming back against Kuniev. But yeah, I'm. I think this card is going to be really good, um, especially for a fight night. So yeah, let's get right into all the picks for the fight night. You've got oh shit. By the way, good to see everybody in the chat. We got Nick, Ron, and Isha hopping in early. Um, let's do this real quick. By the way, we have a Topology League. It's in the channel's description. Be sure to click on that, and whoever gets the most event wins by the end of the year, I'm gonna be paying $100 to, right out of my own damn pocket. So yeah, be sure to check that out and get your picks in for this card. And let me know who you guys are picking. Always interested to hear. All right. So you got Mo Usman taking on Hamdi Abdelwahab. This is taking place at heavyweight. Mo Usman, 10-4, 3-2 in his last five on a 2-fight losing streak as of right now. Plus 165 as the underdog. He's 36 years old, 6'2", 79-inch reach, training with Saif Saud out of Fortis MMA. Hamdi Abdelwahab, 4-0. Took a long layoff. Yeah, long ass layoff. And then he wait a second. I guess he didn't take that. Well, yeah, 2 years. 2-year layoff, and then he fought Jamal Pokes, won via split. Yeah, he is minus 205 as the favorite. He is 32, coming out of Egypt. So, I remember watching Hamdi. I think in his fight against Dontel Mays, and like DC was always talking about how like he was with him in the training room. I think that Hamdi has like a pretty stacked background in wrestling. Let me see really quick. So he's a professional wrestler. Let me see if he's ever won like yes, he won a Greco-Roman this is the Africa and Oceania Olympic qualification tournament. He got a gold medal in that. So yeah, very credible wrestling background, but honestly, like I haven't really seen it that much so far in his UFC career. Um but and not only that, like going to split what is this, a split draw? I don't know why that says I guess it was a draw, but I don't know if he got like popped for I think that's what it was. He got popped for steroids. And then going to split decision with Jamal Pogues, like doesn't really impress me. Mo Usman, I think we already know like what he's all about. Not a good heavyweight by any means, but he'll make a fun fight. Well, his last fight wasn't fun. Thomas Peterson just kind of out wrestled him, and then he lost that decision to Mick Parkin. Now Thomas Peterson obviously is a lot bigger than Mo Usman. Can hang with him in the striking. Hamdi has decent striking. But yeah, I mean, Hamdi is a big favorite in this fight for a reason. Muhammad Usman, I mean, I think like it seemed like he had power at first, and then now it's just kind of gone away. Like I don't know what I've to be fair, like I've picked Mo Usman to win his last two fights that he lost. So I'm the dumbass here. But this is a weird one for me. I don't think it's like super cut and dry. I think Hamdi will get the win here. But I don't think it'll be an impressive win. I hope that he does get an impressive win though, because he's kind of a fun prospect, a guy that was big upped by DC. So yeah, I would like to see him do something impressive here, but I really don't think it'll happen. But I will pick him by decision. Actually, let's take a look really quick. Who? Yeah, you got an overwhelming majority of Topology picking Abdel Wahab, but you do have 30% of them picking Mo Usman. So I think this will be a closer fight, but I do think that we've already seen that Mo Usman can't really do much off his back. So if Hamdi can put him there, he'll get the dub. All right, next fight is Tagir Ulanbekov versus Azat Maxim. Tagir Ulanbekov 16-2, 4-1 his last five, minus 295 is the favorite. Training with Team Khabib in Makhachkala, Dagestan. Azat Maxim 15-1. 4-1 his last five, obviously losing that fight to Charles Johnson. That was a year and a half ago. Been a little bit since we've seen this man from Kazakhstan who is plus 235 as the underdog. He is 30 years old. Man, so Tagir, another one of those guys, like, looks good, and then like he'll fight somebody who, like, I think his loss was to, Tim Elliott. I think he lost to, no, he beat Nate Maness. So yeah, like every time I've seen him take like a step up in competition, he always kind of gets outworked. Gas tank isn't there necessarily. Azat Maxim, obviously, like I don't know a lot about this guy, but he fought in pretty reputable organization. I think that's Octagon. Could be with a C or a K. But yeah, he did really well in Octagon. Got that split decision win over Tyson Nam, and then fought Charles Johnson, and you're kind of like, oh shit, like another. And poor Charles Johnson. He got like a string of freaking these guys from this area of the world, and man, I mean, I picked Charles Johnson to lose that fight. No, he fucking schooled this dude. I think he gave him problems early. But yeah, anyway, a guy that I don't know too much about, and we haven't seen much of in the UFC versus Tagir, who I think has just been largely like he's getting wins, but largely unimpressive. Like I don't think that's unfair to say. And also not very active either, right? Now Tagir is he had a really sick fight. I think it was with I think it was no. I was thinking it was with Saeed Nurmagomedov, but I'm thinking of somebody else. But yeah, I mean Tagir is like he's good enough. He's good enough, but there's nothing that like he's super good at. You know what I'm saying? Like very well rounded. But yeah, I think as far as like Team Khabib goes, not the most impressive guy in there. This is a tough one for me to pick. I think that this is a toss up. Let's see. You got an overwhelming majority of Topology pickers picking Ulanbekov here, which is kind of crazy to me. I don't know what the odds are for this fight. Oh yeah, plus 235. I think that if I don't think that betting on Azat Maxim is a bad way to go, because he does come out of the gates firing. Again, I don't really have a stake in this one. I don't really know too much about Azat. I think that the line and the Topology community is kind of disrespecting him, but I will follow in that disrespect, and I will pick Ulanbekov to get the dub. I think he's well rounded enough to get this done. Follow a similar game plan that CJ did, which again, like CJ is just a much bigger flyweight, right? I don't know if Tagir can necessarily do that, but I do think that people are kind of sleeping on Azat, and I would like to see how he improved over a year and a half. So good to see Chris Gray. He says, "Sup, IHOP." What does IHOP mean? Topology figures have been 50-50 so far. Really? Really? Okay. Interesting. All right, next fight Irina Alexieva versus Claudia Segula is taking place at women's bantamweight, the illustrious women's bantamweight division, putting on another showcase for us here. Irina 5-2, 3-2 in her last five, minus 225 as the favorite. She is fighting out of Russia. Russia. 34 years old, 5'8". Claudia is 6-2, 4-1 her last five. Training out of Poland. She is 5'8" as well. Look, guys, this is a women's bantamweight fight, so it goes to decision, right? And if you look, well, hey, Claudia getting some knockouts in some recent fights. MMA GP, that's sick. Melissa Mullins, though, she did get knocked out by 7 months ago. Let's see about Alexieva. And again, I have seen both of these women fight. I don't remember it. It was very unmemorable. Alexieva getting a win 3 years ago against Stephanie Page, subbing Stephanie Egger. I think, that's fine. And then she beat Melissa Mullins. I got to go with Alexieva here by decision. Claudia hasn't fought in any promotion I've ever heard of besides MMA GP, and I've never even watched an event of them. I think that they're more like GP is more of like a kickboxing organization, or is it Muay Thai? So it's weird that they would like host an MMA event, which they have done a few, but it's just like I'm trying to say that as like it's not the most reputable MMA organization. And then getting knocked out by Melissa Mullins just 7 months ago. The inactivity and the age of Alexieva does give me pause. So I, again, like picking Claudia here as the underdog, not a bad choice. Not a bad underdog parlay piece. But yeah, I'm gonna ride with Alexieva. I don't know, actually. 26. We'll see. This women's bantamweight sucks. Nobody cares. All right, next fight. You have Daria Zalesniakova versus Melissa Mullins. The rematch at women's bantamweight. Man, we're getting a women's bantamweight showcase here, aren't we? Daria Zalesniakova is 9-2, 3-2 in her last five, plus 210 as the underdog. She's 29. Melissa Mullins, 7-1, 4-1 her last five, minus 260 as the favorite. So I've seen both of these women fight. Don't remember it. Couldn't tell you what happened. In their last fight in Aries 2.5 years ago, Melissa Mullins ground and pound KO'd Daria Zalesniakova. Her only loss is to Nora Cornell, and then she beat the two aforementioned women in her fights before then, or before and after. So Daria, I remember this lady fighting and just being very unimpressed. I think I actually picked her to beat Aline Perez. So again, my picks suck. I mean, I'm doing all right on pick. I have like a 65% pick 'em rate, but yeah, I think I actually picked her to beat her, which is really stupid. And I think we kind of just found out that Daria Zalesniakova is just not good. And I'm really just banking off that. And I'm going to say Melissa Mullins gets this one done. I don't think that Daria is a good underdog in this fight. Melissa Mullins all day. Yeah, sick that we get two women's bantamweight fights in a row. Just to, shock some energy into that Baku crowd. That's gonna they're gonna just love this fight. These two fights in a row. After Hamdy's gonna just bring them up, and then the two women's fights are gonna just give them exactly what they're looking for. The next fight is Ismail Narudiev versus the Iron Turtle, Jung Young Park. This is taking place at middleweight. Narudiev, 24-7. He's 3-2 in his last five, plus 180 as the dog. He's 28 years old. Jung Young Park, 18-6, minus 225 as the favorite. Fighting out of South Korea. He's 34 now. Iron Turtle Inc. He's turtles live a long time though, so I guess he's still, just a spring chicken or a spring turtle, I guess you could say. Ismail Narudiev, he beat Bruno Silva. That's his only UFC fight. He fought in Brave, good promotion. Um, was up and down in Brave. Has a lot of experience though. Look at that. But yeah, I mean, beating Bruno Silva, I mean, doesn't really mean anything. In 2025. Uh, Jung Young Park did beat Brad Tavares via split. I think I was watching that fight. I was like, how is this a split? But he lost the decision to Andre Muniz, beat Duraev, beat Talulin. So yeah, like Iron Turtle's always in a fun fight, but I think that as he's climbing the rankings and as he gets older, like he's having a harder time with these guys. Turtle. And it's starting to show, but the thing about the Iron Turtle is like this guy, he doesn't gas out. He's there for all 15 minutes, going hard, has a lot of volume, uh, very well rounded. Narudiev beating Bruno Silva doesn't tell me literally anything at all about him. See what the odds are. Yeah, Jung Park is the favorite, but you do have 20% of pickers going with Narudiev. Tough one. It's a tough one for me. Jung Park is usually outsized in his fights, so no stranger to that. He will be outsized by Narudiev here. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember that fight with Bruno Silva. I don't think again it wasn't memorable because I have to think about it. Man, I'm gonna go Jung Young Park here. I think he wins a hard fought decision over 15 minutes. I don't know, man. Rudiev might impress us. He might show us something new. Again, went up and down in Brave. Um, got some knockouts, got some finishes. So we'll see if Nurdiev can make a statement here. I would be very, very impressed. And always fun to see a good prospect, right? Coming up the rankings. I think that Jung Young Park is kind of being disrespected in this fight, taking on this dude that only has one fight in the UFC. But it is what it is. All right, next fight will be oh my dude, these fucking Korean names, bro. Sohyun Ko versus Oban Elliott. Ko, or his nickname KO, is 11-2. He is on a 4-fight winning streak, plus 310 as the underdog. 31 years old from Korea. Oban Elliott 12-2 on a nice winning streak himself. Minus 395 as the favorite. God damn. He is 27, 6 foot tall. I've been very impressed with Oban Elliott. His last win against Basil Hafez knocked him out. Got that decision win over Preston Parsons and Val Woodburn, which I think these two performances kind of they didn't really do much for me. Him knocking out Basil Hafez though was very, very impressive. I think what happened to Oban Elliott is he got hyped up because Ariel Hawani kept interviewing him, and then he had those two fights with Woodburn and Parsons, and we were kind of like, this is the dude Hawani's bringing on the show. And then when he knocked out Hafez, we are like, oh shit, and it was a sick knockout. And then he was really good on the mic too. So like, I've been really hyped to see this guy back. Obviously, he was supposed to have a fight, I think, a couple months ago, and then the fight got scrapped. Like, I think he had to pull out or something. So we don't know if he's like dealing with an injury or not still. But yeah, as far as So Kyun Ho, okay, he got in via decision on the Contender Series, which again, never a fan of, never ever a fan of. But the guy's on a nice winning streak. Last time he lost was by KO 3.5 years ago. I think Oban can get a knockout here. I think that these Korean guys are very scrappy. But again, I've been fading Korean. Like I always like fade the Koreans because of their because the military service, all that stuff. And I don't think that like the competition in Korea is, you know, on the regional scene is like the highest level. But holy shit, has it been developing lately, man? Like I'm really excited for all these Korean guys coming up. But I am gonna pick Oban here. I think he gets it done by knockout. I think he's coming into his own now. Um, KO lost to Sasha Polotnikov. Good to see K1. Who did? Who lost via KO to Sasha Polotnikov? But yeah, I think Oban could get the knockout here. I always go with the Idaho Fight Fans special round two whenever I'm not really sure about the knockout. But your guess is as good as mine. And again, guys, let me know your guys' picks in the chat. The Welsh Gangster, yes. Since there isn't an iron emoji, we use Faye. Oh, the periodic table abbreviation for iron. Ah, look at the big brain on Nick. Check that out. All right, next fight. Muhammad Naimov versus Bogdangrad. And I think the card really starts to pick up here, man. Pick up a lot of steam. There's not that many fights on this card. Muhammad Naimov versus Bogdangrad at featherweight. Naimov 12-3, 4-1 in his last 5, -225 is the favorite from Tajikistan. He is 30 years old. Bogdangrad 15-2, +180 as the underdog, fighting out of Austria. He's 29 years old. See, Bogdangrad has been impressing me a lot. He beat Michael Aswell, or some people call him my doppelganger, via split decision to get in the UFC. Then he knocked out Lucas Alexander, which was really impressive. That was just 4 months ago. On the other hand, Muhammad Naimov, having a pretty good UFC run as of late, or having a pretty good UFC run overall, knocking out Malarkey, beating Wood by decision, knocking out that dude Eric Silva in that really weird fight. But then, remember Felipe Lima? Dude, I want to see Felipe Lima fight again. Where the fuck has this guy been? Remember Felipe Lima just like on short notice just cooked him? And we're like, oh shit. Felipe Lima is the real deal. And ever since then, that win against Khan Ofli was unimpressive. So I think Bogdangrad is the more dynamic striker of the two. Even though Naimov has a lot of power, I think that's kind of all there is, right? And we saw when he went up against a guy like Nathaniel Wood, like he did win the fight, but via decision. And again, Nathaniel Wood, a very reputable opponent. Jamie Malarkey, Chinny, Eric Silva. Where the hell has that guy been? I don't think we've seen or heard from him since that weird ass KO. And then he got cooked by Felipe Lima. So, and the thing about Felipe Lima is he put a lot of pressure on him early. He stayed on him throughout the entire fight, and then ended up breaking him down and subbing him. So I think that Bogdangrad can do a similar thing to Naimov in this fight. The question is like, is Muhammad Naimov making improvements? Can we see a return of the old Muhammad Naimov? I honestly just think that he is a really one-dimensional fighter. So I am going to pick Bogdangrad here by decision. But I think if you're going to pick Muhammad Naimov, I think you go by KO. So that is going to be my pick for this fight. Happy Monday. Yeah, happy Monday, everybody. Is the Hill fight this weekend, Lawrence? Yeah, it's happening on Saturday, man. We're running through the whole card. We're going to make a pick and prediction for the fight here in just a second. K1 Felipe Lima is fighting Talbot on 317. That's sick. That is a sick. I am so happy that Felipe Lima is getting a spot like that. That's a prospect I am really hyped for. All right, next fight. Nazim Sadikov versus Nicholas Mota at lightweight. Nazim Sadikov, 10-1-1, -400 as the favorite. He is the local boy fighting as he's born in Azerbaijan. He lives in Brooklyn. He is 5'10", fighting out of Syndicate. Nicholas Mota is 15-5. He is what the fuck is up with these draws, dude? Was this a majority draw? And then this was premature stoppage with Trey Ogden. 15-5, 3-1-1 his last 5, plus 310 as the underdog. He is 32 years old. Training out of Extreme Couture. So yeah, Nicholas Mota, we've been seeing him for a while in the UFC. got a knockout win, lost to Manuel Torres, had a weird fight with Trey Ogden, knocked out Tom Nolan, and then he beat Mahashate via decision. Nazim Sadikov having a sick ass fight and knocking out I mean, what do we even say? Defamed fighter for very good reason, Hassan Zada, knocking out Evan Elder, subbing Terrence McKinney, having a really tough fight with Vyacheslav Borshov, and then knocking out Ishmael Bonfim. The thing about Nicholas Mota um, is he's very long. He fights he fights good from a distance, and he's very well rounded. I just think that Nazim Sadikov, when he finds you and he connects, like his technique and his power is real. Um, I think that Nicholas Mota's best way to win this fight is to mix it up and try to tire out Nazim, try to win the clinch battle. But Nazim is a very strong guy. Um, I see him winning this fight definitely. Um, I don't know if I like. Can you imagine if he just keeps knocking these dudes out or like finishing them? Oh man, the thing is he couldn't beat. He couldn't stop, and he had a draw against Nazim. So it's like, or against Borshev. So it's like, I think that after that fight, I was like not really too sure about him. But then knocking out Bonfim, he's got some momentum behind him. I don't think that Nicholas Mota is the kickboxer that Vyacheslav Borshov is. I do think he's a better grappler. But I do think that Nazim just has good power. I am going to pick him by finish in the second round. That will be my pick. Yo, what is up, everybody? Hopping in. Lima Talbot is such a sick fight. That is a badass fight. Guzzi just left and told me that Denise turned down Tom Peterson first because he didn't want a wrestler and had to be convinced to fight Guzzi because his Tapology said wrestler. Takedowns incoming. Let's go, Guzzi! Am I the only one that still likes Talbot? His YouTube channel is my favorite MMA fighter channel, too. Well, in the community that you are in, unfortunately, a guy like Talbot is going to get eaten alive, unless he wins. So him losing is just more fuel to the fire for people to hate on him. I think that Talbot. That's the thing, man. There's like these prospects, dude. Like they win impressively, and then people are like thinking they're the greatest thing that's ever happened to the sport, and then they lose a tough fight, and everybody just sours on him. So yeah, man. I mean, like Peyton Talbot, still a good fighter, and I'm excited to see what he does in his career. Yo, what is up, Giuliano? He says I'm taking Bogdangrad too. Also, hit me up after you stream. You got it. You got it. Good to see you in the chat. Lima should destroy him though. Yeah, 100%. I hope so. Talbot. See, there you go. Denise about to be wrestle fucked more than Peyton Talbot. Good stuff. Wrestle smash. Isha, I don't mind Talbot. He's screwed against Lima. Yeah, 100%. He's about to get Kimura. Lima is sick. He legit just said that to me. He's good at arm locks, and Denise frames out from the bottom a lot, so it'd be hunting. Oh, yeah, I'm down. All right, we're gonna everybody hammer the line. Guzzi by decision or by submission. Yo, what is up, Ken? Dude, I didn't even know you were subbed to my channel. It is awesome to see you, Ken. What's your top fight to watch this weekend, dude? Probably Bahamunde's Fazeev on this card, but honestly, like I haven't really looked through everything that's happening this weekend. I can quickly just kind of look over it. I mean, the PFL World Tournament 6, Kevin Lee versus Gadzi Romanov. I mean, that's going down on Friday. So wait, is it? Yeah, I mean, where does Kevin Lee fit in all this? I mean, UFC, Kevin Lee. You know what I'm saying? All right, that's got to be fight of the weekend, right? Yeah, no, it's probably Vizzy versus Bahamundes, but it is awesome to see you, Ken. I hope you're doing well. Been watching fights with Ken for a long ass time, man. Shout out to Ken. Gotta walk the dog. Had to drop the news after I saw the big one. Have a good stream, Skate. Peace out. Good to see you, Denial. Have a good walk, my friend. I hope your Monday's good. I think Lima should be able to take down Talbot and submit him. Ooh. Dude, that's a sick ass fight. See some good fights on this UFC fight night. Yeah, there are some great fights. Kevin Lee about to lose 2 fights in the PFL and against the GM. Goody just called me and said, Goozy just called me and said he canceled James Lynch to come on the City Life tonight. Yo, Goozy gonna be interviewed by Isha. Be sure to check that out. Goozy Hines, LFA fighter on a good win streak, putting on very exciting fights, getting the call up to the big show. So yeah, go sub over to City Life Project if you're not already, and I guess he's gonna be interviewing Goozy. Let's go. Xenu, what is up, Lord Xenu? Coming down from his throne to comment, requesting a clip be played.
I don't give a fuck if the decision's rigged!
That's right. All right, next fight. This is a banger. This is such a fucking banger, dude. Mikdelbeck Oralbai versus Tofik Musayev. Kenshiro says, I'll be at my 5th uncle's funeral this Saturday. Man. Rest in peace. Can't fish. Oh man. Man, that sucks, man. I'm really sorry to hear that, Ken. Thoughts and prayers to your family, man. Hopefully you get back to fishing soon. All right. Banger of a fight. Mikdelbeck Oralbai versus Tofik Musayev. This is taking place at lightweight. Mikdelbeck Oralbai 13-2-1. He is minus 170 as the favorite. 27 years old, 5'10". Training out of Kyrgyzstan. Musayev 22-5 plus 135 as the underdog. Training out of he trains in Azerbaijan. 35 years old. And he is 5'10", 72-inch reach. So, man, Tofik, dude. Like, when was the last time Tofik fought? He fought on Ryzen. That's right. He had 2 fights in Ryzen, and he lost via KO to Alexander Shabili, or Shabley or whatever. Knocked out Sydney Outlaw. So he had a lot of fights like in Ryzen and Bellator during their weird partnership. Man, those losses aren't looking good for him. He is 35, had sick knockouts in Ryzen. Mikdelbeck Oralbai, doing good in LFA. In the UFC, choking out Uros Medic, beating Elvis Brenner by decision, and I think I picked Elvis Brenner in that fight, which that's another guy I feel like we haven't seen in a while. Yeah, I picked Elvis Brenner, and Elvis Brenner, he had his moments, but Mikdelbeck Oralbai did very well, and I did think that like you could see where some of Mikdelbeck Oralbai's deficiencies in the striking were. Like he fought a more technical guy, and I think it gave him problems, you know. And then he obviously lost to Rebecki, and he got that was actually if you guys don't know, that is literally that fight with Rebecki is literally the what birthed this moment.
I don't give a fuck if the decision's rigged.
Isn't that funny? Like that's the fight. Yeah, Oralbai is what inspired the. Isha knows. Oralbai, one of them off. Even Mongolia bastards, racist sub. Wow. So yeah, I he got cooked by Rebecki. So we got to see where he could lose a striking battle to Elvis Brenner. He did end up getting the decision win in that fight. And then we got to see where he got cooked in the grappling and just the pace that Rebecki put on him. That doesn't really deter me from picking him in this fight. I think this is going to be a slobber knocker. And I think that, oh my gosh, dude, I think Oralbai will come out the victor. But, dude, when you're swinging him, this would be a gunslinging. The 2 gunslingers get into a gunslinging match. Oh my gosh, this fight's gonna be a fucking banger. I don't even give a shit who wins because I know this fight's gonna be damn good. I think I'm gonna ride with Oralbai. I don't think the odds are good enough for Tofik to get the the parlay piece in your underdog parlay. But fuck, man, he definitely could win this fight. Tofik is quick, got a lot of power. It's just that he's 35 at lightweight, man. That's never a good spot to be. Uh, this fight is, can Tofik stuff the takedowns? Interesting. That's an interesting take on this fight. I think it's gonna be. I think it's just gonna be a slobber knocker, personally. But yeah, Miktelbeck Orbai would be smart to try to take Tafik down, because again, Tafik is just like a fucking. He's just a gunslinger. You can only trust full CCP or full Mongolian Asian fighters in the UFC. Dude, I was kind of thinking about that. Like, do you go the all Eastern Europe parlay in this fight against foreigners? Anyway, I'm going oral by KO too. All right, man. Curtis Blades versus Kuniev. A fight I've already broken down once. At heavyweight, Curtis Blades, 18-5, 3-2 in his last 5. Minus 275 as the favorite, 34 years old. Kuniev, plus 215 as the underdog, 32 years old, from Dagestan. So Kuniev, let's check this out, because we already all know like Curtis Blades. But Kuniev getting a win in Eagle FC, getting a win on Contender Series, going back to Eagle FC, getting a sub, having a weird ass decision with Henan Pereira, and then knocking out Hugo Kuna on the Contender Series. How does that even make sense? How do you have a UFC fight and then you fight on Contender Series again? Somebody explain that one to me. Yeah. So yeah, like Kuniev, obviously, like fast starter, gets the knockout. Knee to the body, ground strikes. That's a sick way to knock somebody out. Can wrestle, from Dagestan. Curtis Blades, though, man, fucking Curtis Blades. It just always the bridesmaid, never the bride. You know what I'm saying? He'll go on a really nice win streak, and then he'll run into an uppercut of Curtis Blades, or of Derek Lewis. Sorry, he'll get knocked out really quick by Pavlovich, and then get knocked out even faster by Tom Aspinall. You know, the Jelton Almeida fight is what really, like, I picked Curtis to win that fight just because I feel like Jelton wasn't gonna like have the hands that some of these other guys have. Curtis Blades a dog on the ground. Man, the thing about Curtis is if you just swarm him and you start fast, you can get him out of there. I feel like Kuniev is gonna do that to him in this fight. You know, before, when I broke this fight down, I picked Curtis, like, and it wasn't really like a hard pick for me. But right now, as I sit here and I try to pick this fight, I don't know, dude. I feel like, and especially with the home crowd advantage, you know, like, I feel like Kuniev can get this done. And again, if you're, see, dude, I don't even know. This could be a wild ass first round. Let's see. When is the last time? So Curtis just got knocked out. Dude, Curtis is taking a lot of fucking damage in his career. Let's be totally real. Taking a lot of damage. A lot of bad fucking knockouts, dude. I wouldn't say Curtis is chinny necessarily. He just gets knocked out by like the most powerful power punchers, like up at heavyweight, you know? So maybe now his chin is deteriorated. I would bank on that. Is Kuniev the guy to crack his chin? Man, dude, I think he is. I think he is. He's big enough, powerful enough. It's just that, like, we haven't seen him. I mean, it's 9 months. I think Kuniev did struggle a little bit before he knocked out that dude. Damn, dude, am I really about to pick Kuniev right now? Dude, Curtis Blades, though, he could survive and then just like, dude, I don't know. This is a sick ass fight. Unfortunately, I'm gonna pick Kuniev KO1. But I think Curtis has to shoot early, Curtis has a good jab. He's able to fight nice from the outside and all that stuff. But really, what he needs to do is just get that single leg, or else I think it's over for him. Curtis loses to fighters who have double his 55 IQ. Yeah, and I don't know if Kuniev is that guy, dude. Like, also, it's a weird ass fight. Like, how much does the UFC hate Curtis Blades that they're gonna fucking just thrust him into a fight with this fucking guy? It's fucking crazy, honestly. Kuniev is the Russian Blob Tank, dude. We need to get when's Blob Tank gonna come to Glory or K1? You know what I'm saying, dude? I don't know, man. Like, I think if you ran this fight 10 times, like Curtis wins 5 and Kuniev wins 5, or maybe Curtis wins 6. Oh my gosh, dude! Like, I want to pick Curtis, but I just can't, dude. I gotta go with Kuniev. But then again, I don't know, man. Like, heavyweight sucks ass, and Curtis Blades is a solid heavyweight. He only loses to top guys. So, do we get a new contender in the heavyweight division, or do we just keep seeing? I mean, because again, it would be nice to inject some new life into the division. I think if Curtis Blades loses this one, it depends on how bad he gets knocked out. Dude, this is a tough ass fight for me to pick. Who are you guys going with in this fight? I think I'm gonna stick to Kuniev round 1 KO, but I think that Curtis could definitely win this fight. I'm interested to hear what you guys are picking though. No, Curtis Blades is good, dude. I don't. I'm not gonna take any Curtis Blades disrespect on this podcast here. I like Curtis. I like Curtis. He's a very good fighter. Again, he just had the unfortunate luck of just running into punches from these top guys and top punchers in the sport. Like Derek Lewis. So anyway, let's continue. Banger ass co-main event. Fiziev versus Bahamundes. Fiziev, the guy who has had his chance to, be a number 1 contender, be a top lightweight, and just has fallen short. And then Bahamundes, up and comer, who's just showing us new shit every time he's out there. Has sick ass KOs, has good subs. Man, this is a sick ass fight. Fiziev, 12-4. This is a pick'em. Interesting. From Azerbaijan, 32 years old, 5'8". Ignacio Bahamundes, 17-5. From Chile, 27 years old, 6'3". Boy, what a sick ass fight here. Let's see. Bahamundes sub Jalen Turner, knocked out Manuel Torres, knocked out Yagos, lost to Klein a year ago. But man, he's been on a roll in this last year. I remember when Fiziev knocked out Brad Riddell, and this is like at the time of like the city kickboxing hype train. And when he knocked out Brad Riddell, he kicked him so hard that Brad Riddell started talking to somebody who wasn't there in the octagon. Knocked out RDA in a tough fight, but he eventually did find that left hook and put him away. Lost to Gaethje by decision. Lost to Gamrot. If you remember, it was that weird injury. And then he had a rematch with Gaethje where he looked a lot better, but Gaethje fought the fight much different, and it was a great fight. Man, so Fiziev, the kicks of Fiziev, the body kick especially, and he's got fast fucking hands. Remember when he knocked out Moicano? So fucking brutal. Got fast hands. He's used to fighting guys taller than him at lightweight. Bahamundes, dangerous everywhere, right? Kicks. Mostly his head kicks are very dangerous. Can sub you. Man, What a sick ass fight, dude. Fuck. I'm so pumped for this. I think Fazeev, he has good defensive wrestling. He's gonna have to get inside of punching range to make this interesting. Fuck, dude. Fuck. I think Bahamundes. Man, I'm picking Bahamundes. And I'm gonna pick him by decision. But the thing is that who was Fazeev lost to in the last few years? Justin Gaethje, right? Like, and again, he did lose to Mateus Gamrot officially, but it was a horrible injury. So I mean, it's like, do we really count that? Before that, he was on just like a fucking UFC was like, let's strap a rocket to this guy and just take him to the moon. But yeah, his career has been halted as of late. And honestly, I think that Fazeev's prime. I mean, he's 32 years old. He's in his prime now, but the injuries, all that stuff. Having that experience, going 2 full fights with Justin Gaethje gives you good experience. And I would say that Bahamundes is relatively untested against the top guys at lightweight. I think that Fazeev is there, but again, not top of the heap. Boy, I gotta go Bahamundes, but I'm gonna just tentatively pick the decision here. Um, but man, there's a reason why this is a pick 'em, and this is gonna be a sick fight. I think that Bahamundes is just better. But I don't know, man. If Fazeev can, depends on the game plan from Fazeev. Like Bahamut is a tough ass matchup. Ludovic Klein was able to beat Bahamundes a year ago, and I think Fazeev is better than Klein at some of the same things that Klein does. But I think that Bahamundes is improving rapidly, and I also think that yeah, I think he's learned a lot in his last couple fights. So man, dude, I don't know. This is a tough fight to pick, but I'm very excited for it, and I am gonna ride with Bahamundes. Um, let's see. Not hard to figure out a boxer only in the UFC. Best fighter from Chile since Kenny. Always wanted to see Giga and Fazeev. Ooh, that'd be a sick fight. Fazeev beats him though. Another underperformed KSW fighter. What do you mean, General Bahamundes looked so good against Manuel Torres on the feet. He did. And he fucked Jalen Turner up too. Fazeev brain cells are already a little bit gone. What's up, Roland? Yeah, I mean, I guess. I don't know. What a sick ass fight, dude. I'm so excited for it. All right. Main event time. Jamahal Hill versus Khalil Rountree, taking place at light heavyweight. Jamahal Hill, 12-3 in his career, plus 130 as the underdog, 34 years old, 6'4", 79-inch reach. Khalil Rountree, 4-1 his last 5, 13-6. Minus 155 is the favorite, 35 years old. Training at a syndicate, another great gym. So obviously, both of these men lost to Alex Pereira via KO. Khalil in his most recent fight, Jamal in the fight previous to the Yuri knockout loss. I think that everyone's pretty much sold on who's going to win this fight. I don't think anyone's actually picking Jamal to win this fight, but I will say that you got to give him credit, man. Like you got to give Jamal some credit because I know that he had an embarrassing fight against Alex, especially after all the shit that he talks and then the shit he talks online. I understand why fans hate Jamahal Hill. We got to give him credit, man. He goes out there and he fucking fights his ass off, dude. He's not scared of a good fight, and he gives us good fights all the time. I seriously, that's the one thing that you got to give Jamahal Hill credit for. Khalil Rountree, on the other hand, Was once known as the kickboxer's bane. He's got some good wins. He won a split against Jacoby. Knocked out Dawkins. Remember the Dawkins brothers? Whatever happened to them? Knocked out Anthony Smith, and then ran into Alex Pereira. So I think, and again, I think it was Alex fighting like number 8 ranked Khalil at the time, and he put on a great fight against Alex, but just again wasn't able to sustain the offense that he was putting out and the punishment that Alex was dealing back to him. But he had great moments in that fight, and I think Khalil knocks Jamal out. I want to say in the 3rd, but yeah, man, too high a volume. Jamal Hill is not that good. He's very long, very tall, has power when he connects. I don't think he's going to be able to set Khalil up for anything. The only thing that I will say is that, I mean, shit, both these guys been in wars lately, man. That Yuri fight was a war. Khalil obviously in a war with Alex. I don't know. It's hard to say, man. I think Roundtree gets it done. He's too fast. He's too fast for for Jamal, man. He's too fast. He's got way more ways to win. Better kicks. He's gonna hurt Jamal. Jamal could crack him, but yeah. And again, I don't think that, you know what, Roland, you said it exactly right. Roundtree is gonna do it. Hill can just be lucky. Yep. Jamal Hill has beaten the better competition by far, says Mr. C. That is a great point. But I think that the style matchup is not in his favor. Jamal Hill has been good against, like certain wrestlers, able to stop the takedown, like against Clover. And yeah, you're right. He's fought Yuri, Johnny Walker, at Santos. But again, I think he fought a lot of the guys like on their way out, on his way up to that fight with Clover. And also Khalil, it says that they have similar experience, but I do feel like, I don't know, I feel like Khalil is the more experienced striker, and against like actual strikers. He's just got better technique, more ways to win. I'm going Khalil round 3 knockout. But it could be even earlier. I always go like, if I'm not sure like what round the knockout comes in a 3-round fight, I pick 2. But I kind of use that same philosophy for a 5-round fight. Yeah, so I'm gonna go 3, but I think there's potential he gets it done earlier. And if this fight gets dragged out into the later rounds, like Khalil's gonna run away with it. But again, Jamal Hill, scrappy dude, and he always fights hard. One more time, we have a Tapology League. Just save my picks. Let's check it out really quick, and I'll finish reading the comments before we get on out of here. Let's see. And I'll drop the link to the group in the chat. So if anybody new wants to join. Oh, cool. We got a new member. Get you on in there. Oh, it's the homie Giuliano hopping in. Yeah, so it looks like we already got quite a few people that have made their picks for this card. I'll drop the link right now in the chat if anyone else wants to join. All right. I'm good, man. Vazeev is sub top. Jamal Hill sucks. He's down to fight though. Like, you got to give him some credit for that. Ming Yang Zhang beats both. Yeah, 100%. Khalil is who we want. That's right. Jamal Hill has been the better competition by far. Hill can just be lucky. I am worried about Khalil's chin. Hill took damage against Yuri, but Khalil took way more against Alex. You are absolutely correct. It's hard to pick someone with an Achilles injury. Khalil should have lost to Jacoby. No. That was a tough fight for me to pick, but I always think Khalil, especially at that point, I was like, dude, he beat Gokhan Saki. Like, he'll beat Jacoby. You know what I'm saying? And then I gave him a lot of credit in his fight that he was going to have with Alex, but I kind of knew that Alex was going to be able to knock him out at some point because that's just kind of how Khalil fights. He's just like foot on the gas. What are my thoughts on RDR? Love RDR, man. Love RDR. I think that he ran into Malikan, who had his number, and won. And unfortunately, he got schooled by him. And I think that he's also feeling much more free in his career with the UFC because even though the UFC's contracts are restrictive, ones are even more somehow. And there's just less people for him to fight at one. So I think he's feeling good. I'm happy for him. A lot of people faded him, thought he wouldn't be able to do anything in the UFC, and he's looking good out there, man. And I thought his fight with Bo Nickel would be tough, and it was not at all. He is Dutch. Yes, he is relaxed. Yeah, exactly. Like he's cool. He's cool in the UFC. So I don't know if he can be champ. I don't think he can be champ, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. His run is gonna be very fun in the UFC. So yeah, man, that's a show. Oh, kept it tight. Kept it to an hour. Happy about that. Rolling a little bit later. I'm gonna be doing a glory recap. Talk about the state of kickboxing with my good friend Jay from Rush Hour Fight Club. Tune in for that. I've been asking you guys if you want to do another matchmaking show. We can do that tomorrow night if you guys want. Matchmaking show for the last card. And then Wednesday, I think we got another MMA nerd lined up. It'll be Paradox versus Matua. So I got to work on some questions for that. I got to work on a video I'm coming out with. Talk about the heavyweight division in MMA. So, yep. It'll be a Glory 100 recap. Great show. Thanks. Hey, thank you, Isha. All the support you've shown me, man. All right, guys. I'm gonna get the hell out of here. Don't forget, there's a Tapology League. Join it. Phil DeFree versus Francis for $3 million, the PFL title. Did I hear Missoula? I don't think I said Missoula. I was way back here though. So, MMA nerd? No, I don't know. Peace out. Good to see you, Mr. C. He says that it's 10 p.m. Don't worry, man. It's just click on the channel. You can watch it back later. All right. I'm getting out of here, guys. Peace. See you later.